Yeah, I tell people that um, my story is kind of different because I would not say that I was, soaking gari and all of a sudden now I'm living life, enjoying life. No, it was not like that. I grew up in a very, very, very comfortable home. My dad was the civil servant. My mom also was a civil servant, and right from childhood, we never knew any struggles in life. I never knew what it was like to enter bike. I never knew what it was like to drink gari, to trek, nothing like that. As far back as primary school, we already had drivers who would, take us anywhere, bring us back. The secondary school we went to, private schools, one of the best schools in Abuja here, tertiary institutions as well, one of the best universities in Nigeria. And I was just living life and enjoying the luxuries of it. And growing up, I felt like, okay, since you're already, well to do and everything, you already grew up like that, you're already done with school and all, that is how life is going to, continue to be rosy until the tables turned. And I never, ever, ever prepared for what retirement was about to do to me and to my family. When I was seeing my dad, retired, the threw a party and everything, it was amazing. But when I started seeing him at home, having sleepless nights, it never really, really dawned on me until the day that I told my dad that I wanted to go to the office and he gave me he gave me cash to enter public transport. And I was like, Kazal, how is this going to work? It was like a wonder to me. And the first day that I entered public transport, to me, it was like a traumatic experience. I was crying in the car. People were squeezing me, they were sweating, shouting. I was like, what kind of life is this? Like, what is happening? But at that point, it was already out of my control. It was something that, I mean, what could I have done? What could I have done about it? My major source of income was, my dad. My joy was that I saw the business before my dad retired. And I saw the business, I plugged into the business, but I was not serious. Why? Because my father had money. And when I now saw that there was no way again, I had to make a decision. I had to force myself to level up. Ambassador always says something, either you change by choice or either you change by force. And in my case, I had to change by force. A few months of running this project seriously, there was results, but I don't know, the vision was not just clear. I ran this business, but I was not running this business. My mind was here. I don't know how to put it, but my heart was not here. I just knew that there was something missing. Until later this year, I met a mentor. I heard his story during the cell meeting, and it was a very, very big inspiration to me. I saw this person, he was young. I saw he had a lot of potential, and I was like, this is supposed to be where I am. I'm sleeping on my potential. And by God's grace, I don't know how God did it, but I got connected to Ambassador Joshua Atta, and that was where I would say my life changed. Genuinely, my life changed. This person dragged me back to my roots and told me the first thing I'm supposed to seek in this business is God. And I knew that that was what was actually missing in my business as soon as I started the journey. It was not just God that was missing, but I was not following the three cardinal structures. That was committing your business to God, be willing to be trained, and be willing to train others. I felt like I was doing it, but I was doing it with my own mind. I was not doing it on a higher realm. And that was where I started from. Going back to God it was just like as if everything just started falling into place. All my prayers just became answered. It just became so easy, it just became so effortless. And there was another thing he told me, apart from going back to God, you need to seek knowledge. You can't have a lot of teammates. You're pouring into different people, but your cup is empty. It's not possible. You need to become that person of value. These were two things that just changed my life, transformed my business, just did almost everything for me. And aside from, as soon as I started that, the vision just became so clear. I just knew what was God's calling for me because I rededicated my business back to God. That is one thing I love so much about this business. You could have started yesterday, could have started a year ago, you could have started 2 years ago. But one thing I know about this business is that as long as there is life, there is hope. Tomorrow you can start your business from scratch. You can start your business afresh. The business is a business of people. People don't finish. Your team could have started before, but you can still start again from the ground level up. There are two people, aside from Ambassador Joshua, that I cannot stop appreciating in this business. One is my mentor, Ambassador Akila. That woman has been more than a mother to me. I remember even when I was coming to the office, I was coming without direction. I was just showing up. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't even know what I was doing. But this person kept on encouraging me, still kept on pushing me, still telling me it's still possible. And Ambassador Michael Okoli, I don't know why the grace is so sufficient upon my life, but I just want to appreciate God for him as well. Every single time I feel like I've hit a wall, once I ask Ambassador, there's always a solution. There is always a solution. There's always an answer. That is why I know that I've not been stranded in this business. I really, really, really want to appreciate, the mentorship in this business. And, starting my business from that October, it became clear what my assignment was in this business. It became clear that God, I see a lot of things that are happening in this generation. A lot of young people are misguided and misled. They feel like the only way they can achieve anything tangible is by doing the wrong things, is by engaging in things illegally, engaging in things immorally. And I know that my assignment in this generation is to transform this generation. Let them see a way that they can make a legitimate source of income. They can achieve something good. They can impact lives. They can change lives without doing the wrong things. It's not because you were born in a privileged household that you need to misuse your life. You need to be irresponsible. That is what I'm trying to tell somebody here today. It is still possible. You have a purpose in this business. God has a purpose for you in this life. It is not for you to misuse it. The money that you're making in this business is not for you to lounge around. It's not for you to waste it. Because I went back during my personal development. I went to go and check every single person that is making a tangible income in this business, sustainable. They always have the backing of God. God is always pushing them to newer levels because he sees the impact that they are making. He sees that they are using this money wisely. They are using it to actually change lives. And ladies and gentlemen, ever since that month, I made the decision. I made that decision to change my life. I made that decision to change my business. It was a very, very hard decision for me. But I even had to delete all my social media. I deleted my TikTok, deleted my Instagram, deleted my Snapchat. And I said I was starting my life afresh without distractions, without excuses. And it was a smooth sailing. Results just started flowing in. And another thing I had to do was learn the skills. The 3 skills that they say are very, very important in this business. The secrets to this business are very, very clear, but I feel like we don't just understand it because we are not looking at it with our inner eyes. We're not looking at it from the point of the vision, right? So when I learned the skill of prospecting, learned the skill of inviting, learned the skill of follow-up, it has been amazing. It has been an amazing journey. I know what God wants me to achieve this year, 2026. I know the impact that he wants me to, make in my teammates, make into the younger generation, build people, build leaders, build people that can stand on their own, people that can stand the test of time, people that can be financially free, people that cannot be compromised. And I want to appreciate some other of my mentors. I cannot finish my story without mentioning their names. Mr. Vincent, Ambassador Somi. So I just love how ready the leaders are and willing to work with you so long as you are willing. There is always hope. Hope is not lost. Just reach out to somebody. They will answer you. They'll work with you. They'll push you to your next level. Even the leaders that achieve so much result, that inspire us to do better, Ambassador Onyike, we really, really don't take it for granted. Achieving 8 figures is possible. Achieving 9 figures is possible. There are still 7.3 billion people in the world. Because you lost your team today, because you made mistakes yesterday, does not mean you cannot still move forward today. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Wow.